Welcome to the NIOS 333 Environmental Science lesson on ecosystem. In this lesson, you will learn about pond as an example of ecosystem, ecological efficiency and biogeochemical cycles, and homeostasis of ecosystem. An ecosystem is like a bustling community where living organisms interact with their environment. It consists of two main components, abiotic and biotic. The abiotic components are the non-living factors that shape the ecosystem. They include physical factors like temperature, rainfall, and soil type. Inorganic substances like minerals and gases are also crucial for the ecosystem's functioning. Additionally, organic compounds such as dead plants and animal matter play a role in nutrient cycling. On the other hand, the biotic components are the living organisms that inhabit the ecosystem. We have the producers, also known as autotrophs, which make their food through photosynthesis. These include plants and algae, which harness the power of sunlight to convert carbon dioxide and water into energy-rich carbohydrates. Next, we have the consumers, also known as heterotrophs. These organisms rely on others for their food. They can be further classified into herbivores, carnivores, and omnivores, depending on their diet. Herbivores feed on plants, carnivores eat other animals, and omnivores have a mixed diet of both plants and animals. Lastly, we have the decomposers. They play a vital role in breaking down dead organic matter, returning nutrients back into the ecosystem. Examples of decomposers include bacteria and fungi. They may not be as glamorous as the producers or consumers, but they are essential for maintaining the balance. Now, let's explore an example of an ecosystem that you might be familiar with, a pond. Ponds are fascinating microcosms of life, teeming with both abiotic and biotic components. In a pond, the abiotic components include light, which provides energy for photosynthesis, inorganic substances like minerals dissolved in water, and organic compounds such as decaying leaves that provide nutrients. Turning our attention to the biotic components, we find the producers or autotrophs in the pond, such as algae and aquatic plants. They capture the sunlight and convert it into food through photosynthesis. As for the consumers or heterotrophs, there are a variety of organisms in a pond. Some herbivores, like tadpoles, feed on plants. Carnivores, like dragonfly nymphs, prey on other animals. And we have omnivores, like ducks, which have a mixed diet. Lastly, the decomposers in the pond, such as bacteria and fungi, break down organic matter like fallen leaves, completing the nutrient cycle. Ecosystems come in different types. We have natural ecosystems like forests, oceans, and grasslands, which have evolved over thousands of years. And then, we have man-made ecosystems like agricultural fields and urban parks, which are created by humans. Understanding ecosystems is crucial because they perform essential functions. They regulate the flow of energy, cycling it from one organism to another. They also help maintain ecological balance and sustain life on our planet. Now, let's meet the primary producers of the ecosystem, the autotrophs. Autotrophs, such as plants, algae, and some bacteria, create their own food through photosynthesis. They harness the energy from the sun and convert it into chemical energy, which serves as the foundation of the food chain. Now, let's move on to the herbivores. Herbivores are plant-eating animals that directly consume the energy-rich autotrophs. Think of rabbits munching on juicy greens or deer grazing in the meadows. But wait, there's more. Enter the carnivores, the meat-eaters of the ecosystem. These fierce predators feast on herbivores, keeping their populations in check. Picture a lion prowling the savanna, ready to pounce on a zebra for its next meal. Now, let's not forget the versatile omnivores. These amazing creatures have a diverse diet, feeding on both plants and animals. Humans are a great example of omnivores, as we enjoy munching on fruits, vegetables, and even the occasional burger. Next, we have the decomposers. They play a crucial role in breaking down dead organisms and organic matter, returning nutrients back to the ecosystem. Imagine tiny fungi and bacteria turning fallen leaves into rich soil. Now that we understand food chains, let's zoom out and explore the complex interconnectedness of these chains, forming a web of life. Welcome to the food web, where multiple food chains intertwine, showcasing the interdependence of different species. To better understand the energy flow and biomass distribution in an ecosystem, we use ecological pyramids. First up, the pyramid of numbers. It represents the number of organisms at each trophic level. Often, the pyramid narrows as you move up the food chain, indicating fewer individuals at higher trophic levels. Next, the pyramid of biomass. This pyramid illustrates the total mass of living organisms at each trophic level. As we ascend the pyramid, the biomass decreases due to the energy lost as heat and waste. Last but not least, the pyramid of energy. This pyramid shows the flow of energy through the ecosystem. It demonstrates the decrease in available energy as we move up the food chain, as energy is lost at each trophic level. Studying food chains and ecological pyramids is vital as it helps us understand the intricate relationships between organisms and the efficiency of energy transfer within an ecosystem. It enables us to recognize the delicate balance and interdependence of life in our environment. Let's start with the incredible carbon cycle, the fundamental process that helps maintain the balance of carbon in our environment. Picture this: plants are like little magicians performing photosynthesis, where they use sunlight to convert carbon dioxide into oxygen and glucose. Now, here comes the carbon cycle's counterpart, respiration. Just like us, plants and animals respire, releasing carbon dioxide back into the air. And when living organisms pass away, decomposition takes over, breaking down their remains and returning carbon to the soil. But wait, there's more. Combustion plays a role too. When we burn fossil fuels or forests, carbon stored for millions of years is released as carbon dioxide, impacting the balance of the carbon cycle. Now, let's turn our attention to the nitrogen cycle. Nitrogen is essential for life, but it cannot be directly used from the atmosphere. It needs to be converted into usable forms through a process called nitrogen fixation. Symbiotic bacteria, like those found in the roots of leguminous plants, work hand in hand with their host plants, capturing nitrogen from the air and converting it into a usable form. On the other hand, free-living bacteria in the soil also contribute to nitrogen fixation. Once nitrogen is converted, it undergoes nitrification, where it transforms into nitrites and nitrates, which plants can take up and use for growth. This process is followed by assimilation, as plants absorb nitrogen compounds and incorporate them into their tissues. But what happens when plants and animals die? Ammonification comes into play. Decomposers break down organic matter, releasing ammonia back into the soil. Lastly, denitrification helps balance the nitrogen levels in the atmosphere. Certain bacteria convert nitrates back into atmospheric nitrogen, completing the nitrogen cycle. Now, let's not forget about the water cycle, a vital process that ensures the continuous circulation of water on our planet. It includes evaporation, condensation, precipitation, and runoff, maintaining the availability of fresh water for all living organisms. And with those final words, we conclude this lesson. For additional information on this lesson, please look at the content below the video in the online course. To get a list of the important questions and their answers for this lesson, please refer to the guidebook by our publications provided to you with this course for free. It shows you a list of all the questions that have the highest chance of coming in your next exams based on research carried out on previous year question papers. All the best, and I'll see you in the next lesson.